We're right here at the Sandy Hook Spit, or the sand spit, a small point, a narrow embankment of sand deposited by the longshore current. Okay, we're going to take you on a virtual tour of Google Maps. Right here you can see these are the barrier islands. Right here, Seabright, Mantaloking, Lavalette Seaside, Long Beach Island, Brigantine, Atlantic City, Ocean City, Sea Isle City, Avalon, Stone Harbor, Ocean City, New Jersey, Wildwood, Cape May. You could see a barrier island is an island that connects to land by a bridge over the bay and a beach and an ocean, and on the other side of the island. We're going to tell you about the oceans. Right here we have the Arctic Ocean, which is right at the top right over here. And then we have the Southern Ocean right here, and this is the only ocean where you can put your cruise ship or your boat on cruise control or on autopilot, where you can have the boat go from right here all the way from here without even touching it. It will circle around the world 24,000 miles and it won't hit land. You could put it on sleep, and then 2 months later, 3 months later, you have someone refilling the gas tank. You could be spinning around in circles and circles without hitting land. That's pretty cool. The Indian Ocean right over here, the third largest ocean. The Atlantic Ocean right over here that we live in. And then we have the Pacific Ocean right over here next to California and Hawaii. That's the largest ocean that there is in the world. The Earth has 326 trillion gallons of water. Unfortunately, less than 3% of this water on all of our oceans is drinkable. That's pretty insane. And 2/3 of our water is locked up in the glaciers. And we also have 7 continents. We have United States, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and we also have Antarctica. We have 308,738 square miles of land on Earth. That's pretty crazy. Some other things that we won't be able to explore is right here we have a volcano. This is how lagoons form. You can see it starts off as a volcano, and you get a fringing reef, and then you get a barrier reef over here, and then as the volcano submerges underwater you get an atoll. It's a lagoon. And an atoll is a ring-shaped reef island made by coral after a volcano submerged underwater. Also a lagoon, a stretch of salt water separated by the sea by a low sandbank coral reef. Over there is the lagoon and the main pool with the Hawks Cay Lagoon. Right here we have hydrothermal vents. Right here are hot springs, underwater volcanoes. They get as hot as 750 degrees, but it doesn't boil underwater due to the extreme pressure in the deep ocean. Some animals that live here, there are shrimp, crabs, octopus, tube worms, and that they could grow up to 3 to 5 feet a year and live up to 170 to 250 years old. Deep sea mussels, archaea, microbe, and microbacteria, which is a disease for fermentation, which is a chemical breakdown that gives off heat. To sea creatures that do not rely on photosynthesis of the sunlight, they are in pitch dark and blind and use the chemosynthesis, the heat, for energy. Here the beach is right here, the coastal plain, and you get the continental shelf right over here right before it's about to break, and then you get the shelf break, which get this huge slope right over here, the continental slope, and then you get the deep sea fan over here, and there's the abyssal plain, which is really deep. We can't explore it without a submarine or a boat. And you can see here's the different levels of the ocean. Right here we have the sunlight zone, which is about 33,000 feet. It's called epipelagic zone. Right here, the sunlight zone. And then you get mesopelagic zone, which is the twilight zone at about 33,000 feet. And then when you get to 6,600 feet, you get the pelagic zone, the midnight zone right over here. And then as soon as you get down to 13,000 feet, you get the abyss, or the abyssal pelagic zone right over here. And then as you get down to 19,000 feet, you get the ocean basin, and then the Hadopelagian zone, the trenches down there at 36,000 feet. And you can see right here, this is called Mariana's Trench right over here, and it's 36,000 feet tall in comparison to Mount Everest. Mount Everest is 29,000 feet tall, and Mount Everest is about 7 feet deep. This water is almost as tall. Planes could fly 7.5 feet above sea level, and This is Mariana's Trench, 7.5 feet below the seawater. Here's Mariana's Trench right here, the hole where you could go, where you enter it. It's in the Pacific. And you could see the water gets so deep right over here in the abyssal plain, or these animals, it's so dark down here, there's no sunlight at all. It's 36,000 feet deep at 7 feet deep. That these animals are bioluminescence, that they create their own light because it's so dark down there. Check out this video. This is pretty cool. Near Nova Scotia, near that area, this is called the Bay of Fundy, and it has the largest tidal range, a 56-foot range within one day. You could start, it could be low tide right here, no ships right over here, and it goes up 56 feet, so you definitely do not want to be swimming there because you'll get drowned by how fast the water comes in. Everything gets submerged, but this is also called isostatic adjustment. But it's very important for boaters and kayaks because they could be kayak boaters, cruise ships could be coming here when it's high tide at 56 feet tall, but then when it's really low tide, 0 feet, the boat gets stuck in the mud and sand, and it's a problem. So you do not want to be cruise shipping in this area. It's not good. It's not safe, especially during low tide. You can see right here we have a sea arc. It's an opening by a headland by wave erosion, and small boats could sail underneath it and through the sea arc. Right here we have a sea cave. There's a cliff right here. It's formed by erosion. Right here we have a tombola. It's a mound of a sand ridge that connects to an island or a sea stack to the mainland. Right here we have a delta. It's a form of deposition of sediments carried by the river. As the flow leaves the mouth, it enters slowly through moving waters. When the river flows into an ocean, sea, or an estuary, or a lake or a reservoir. And right here we have a Fjord. It's a glacier flooded with seawater.